All right, hello to everybody watching this later. We are playing our first session of Get Ready to Rock, which is a game about members of a band and all of their drama on and off stage. So before we started the recording, we did a little bit of our setup. So we're going to introduce ourselves before we start playing here. We are the new Preachers of Pandemonium. So the Preachers of Pandemonium were a pretty big band in the 80s. Then we broke up for a while, and we are now getting back together, trying to get into the kind of indie rock scene. We've just put out a new album called Commotion Frenzy that's a combination of new songs and new versions of some of our old songs. But we have to worry about our rival band, the Ramshackle Orchard, and we're not big fans of them because they stole our songs. They sampled some of our original music to use in some of their songs, but both of our bands are going to be playing at a big benefit show for an organization that tries to get kids interested in science and math as careers or fields of study. So our characters are members of the band. We'll go in character keeper order again here. I will be playing Barnabas Bragg, the cute one. Pronouns he, him. I'm the lead vocalist and guitar player, and I grew up in the remote outback of Australia. I will not attempt to do an Australian accent at any point here. So just imagine everything I'm saying in a really heavy Australian accent. And that's kind of why I'm the cute one. It's the voice much more than my looks. And I'm a wheelchair user, but I've figured out how to play my guitar and operate the wheelchair with my elbows at the same time so that I can dance around the stage during our shows. And the song that I wrote for our album is called 3.6 Liters of Love, which is a political song about how we all need to adopt the metric system, because as much as I was excited to get out of my middle and nowhere outback village that I grew up in and get all of the fame and money that comes with being a rock star, I do think that the metric system that they use in Australia is a good idea, and America really needs to adopt that. So that's Barnabas Bragg. So Laura, introduce us to your character.
Yeah, hi, I'm Laura. I use she, her pronouns, and I am playing Quirk, any pronouns. Quirk is using the Wild playbook. Quirk is your friendly local neighborhood drummer. And yeah, my idol are all of the drummers from Spinal Tap. Literally, what a way to go out. I hope I can be so lucky. Yeah. My song, oh gosh. All right, here we go. I'm going to try to pronounce the name. All right. Closinausinhification. Yeah. Yeah, it basically means everything is meaningless when something is measured and it ends up being meaningless. It's artsy and experimental and 17 minutes long. Yeah.
All right. And Lowell, tell us about who you're playing.
So my name is Lowell, pronouns he, him, and I'm playing Simon Behar, and I'm the shy one. My dad was in the band back in the 80s and was the big sort of sex symbol-y clothing star kind of thing. And he kind of forced me to join. I play the keyboards, and I have to wear all these costumes that he makes because he's got a big Etsy store. So I have to do that. I don't know if I can hack it in the band. And yes, I'm here. Yet I'm here. And I wrote a lullaby called Sleep with Chaos, and I think it's going to be pretty good. And I really like the keyboardist from the Decemberists.
Okay. And Joel.
Hi, I'm Joel, he, him pronouns. I am playing Vivian Frost, she, her pronouns. She is the serious one, so she's very, quiet and moody, and she's the bass player of the group who joined as an obligation to someone else. And her issue is that she is not your mother. She constantly has to clean up after everyone, and all the other band members are just children, which is the worst. But she does like them, and her song is a cheerleading song for them called Cheer for Anarchy. And yeah, her idol is Billie Eilish for now, and that is Vivian.
Okay. Sounds good. All right, so let's and quickly review our lines and veils here. So lines, things that we don't want to come up at all in our story, are drug abuse, pandemics, sexual assault or violence, torture, and teeth stuff. We've also got a veil, so we'll keep it in the background or off screen about consensual sex, and ask first about romance with player characters. So we've got those lines and veils, and of course, if anything else comes up as we play that you don't want us to include in our story, you can X card that. So just say X card or type it in the chat, and we can back up a bit and choose a different direction on things there. So the first scene of the game is always at our a rehearsal as we're preparing for our show. So does anybody feel inspired to take the mic first and kind of set the scene for us of our rehearsal as we're preparing for this benefit show?
I kind of want to see you frame this so we see how this works, Stentor.
Okay,
I'm
sure.
A little uncertain. So.
Okay, sure. I'll start us off. Okay, so I'm envisioning our rehearsal space. So this this benefit show is at this TV studio. It's not a usual concert venue that we're used to, where we have a ton of fans and giant stadium or something like that. And so they've given us a room to rehearse in. We've arrived a couple days in advance of the show, and so we've got this kind of cramped little room, and it's full of other junk that this TV studio uses. And I think it's kind of dawning on us that this is not this benefit show is not the kind of the big time show that we might have hoped for in our tour, that we are because it's a charity event, and we're doing we're helping out an organization that doesn't have the kind of resources that our usual venues have. So we're in this cramped little storage room kind of place, looking to rehearse. And so I think that what Barnabas is doing here, I think that Barnabas is tuning his keytar. He's got it plugged into the computer and is squinting over, getting the tuning on the keys just right, because they don't sound the same in this space as in most of the places we play in. What's everybody else doing as we're getting ready for our rehearsal?
I think that we see Quark kind of like rifling through all of the stuff in here, and I think like we see her like looking at things, throwing them behind her, and like probably hitting people like with all of the things that she's throwing, and just kind of like, why the fuck are we here? Like,
so are you looking for something in particular, or just like sifting through what's there?
I'm sifting through. I just need to be doing something.
Okay. Cool. What about Viv and Simon?
I think as like Quirk is throwing stuff behind her, Vivian's just kind of like sighing, going over, picking stuff up, and it's like, this was someone's jacket, puts it back on like the hook, goes around like someone has probably like a drink too close to like a computer that she kind of like pushes away and is like, that's gonna spill, we don't want that. And is just like cleaning up after people and putting out people's fires.
And I imagine that Simon has the various keyboards kind of stacked up, and you've got the big computer with, you've got the nicer one with your keytar on it, and I've got the little laptop, and I'm trying to get everything coordinated. And I'm clearly, maybe this is not the best time to ask Barnabas, but I think I have a question for Barnabas at this point.
Okay. What is it? What is it, Simon?
So I noticed when we did the last run through of Leaders of Love that you took the keyboard solo on your keytar, but before you'd had me do that. Are we changing that?
I mean, I felt the music in that moment. You gotta when the muses strike, you gotta seize the moment. And Simon, I think that's something that I think you need to work on, right? Because if you had stepped up with confidence to that solo, I would have heard that, and I would have just wheeled back and let you have it, right? But I didn't hear that. You were, you had your riff going there, and that's good. It's a good solid basis, but you weren't seasoning it, and I just felt it in here. And so I took it. So I'm sorry if I stepped on your toes a little bit.
No, it's just you came in about 3 seconds early or more, maybe more, and that's why I wasn't. Yeah, but I can see. Yeah, okay, gonna get it better. Okay.
Yeah, you gotta learn to follow the muse when it hits you. And so I think I'm going to pass the mic to Joel, because I want to see what Viv thinks of this little debate.
I think she's kind of trying to like keep the peace and play both sides. So she's like cleaning stuff up, and then she goes over to Simon and says like, don't let him get to you. You just need a little bit more confidence. Like, you're doing great.
No. He's right.
Well, next time it comes to your part, just like really like, even if he's playing, just, and she'll like start tapping on the keyboard, probably completely wrong spot. You just start playing over it. Just start playing over it.
Okay, maybe not that note, but yeah. Okay. Okay.
I think Barnabas is now like needling you a little bit by very softly playing one of the hooks from that particular solo that was bothering you.
It's all good. Let's run through. Let's run through Quirk's song that I can't pronounce.
I mean, honestly, even Quirk can't pronounce her own song.
You're not supposed to be able to pronounce it.
I know. There's that section at minutes about 13 where we all try to pronounce it, right?
Yeah.
It's different every time, right?
Yeah.
It's different every time.
No, Quirk's very like pointed. He's like, you're not supposed to be able to pronounce it. That's part of the. It's all part of the The meaning. Don't you guys like the meaning behind it? I mean, she kind of looks to Barnabas, right? The meaning.
Oh yeah, the meaning definitely, definitely. It has a meaning, which is good for a song to have. So yeah, so all right. So do we want to run through that one? Again, I don't know how much time they're going to let us have in here, but we can do that one if we want. All right, Quirk, count us off here on this one. What time signature is it in, by the way? Is it?
Oh gosh, it's in one of the like super obscure ones, like 16/8 or something.
It probably changes several times too.
Yeah. Definitely.
Like just when you think you've got the groove, suddenly it's you add a beat to every measure, and now you're off.
And there's like 6 flats.
Yeah.
Cry.
Yeah.
No, yeah. And Quirk counts off, and it's probably like incorrect, but it's fine. We're just going with it.
Yeah. It's not like the fans will really be able to tell, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so we can jam out to this song for a while here. And so, Joel, you've got the mic, so you can, do something with that, or you can pass it on to somebody else, to push the story forward as we're playing our rehearsal here. It's kind of how that works.
Since this is Quirk's song, I'll pass the mic to them.
Yeah. Let's see.
Yeah, so it's kind of your authorization either for your character to do something big, or for you to make something. Our manager calls us suddenly, or we, hear something about our rivals, or the roof falls in, or whatever.
Okay, yeah. I think that outside of the window, I think that Quirk notices like a let's see. I think that she notices a this like aggressively bright pink van. It's like one of those white vans, but it's like bright pink. And she's like, "Oh shit! Look who it is!" And like just stops playing and kind of throws something at a wall.
I think Barnabas keeps playing for a while because like the drums just randomly drop out of this song sometimes anyway. It's never the same twice.
I like the idea that I just kind of keep trying to maybe come in a little early to maybe seize the muse, like Barnabas said, and maybe I'm maybe a little bit ahead.
Yeah, I like the idea that you're actually starting to like take charge of the song a little bit, right as everybody else is stopping playing because this van has showed up.
Oh. Are we done then?
Yeah, Quirk, what's going on? Is it what's the van out there?
I think that it's arrivals arriving
Okay.
arriving on scene.
Okay. Yeah, I'll rush over to the window and look out, and can see Danny Mendez, their cute one, who has a cute Mexican accent, and is also probably better looking than I am. And I can see him getting out of the van. Oh, I hate that guy. Are they booked for the same event with us?
Yeah, I think so. That's what I heard.
I certainly hope not.
I mean, if they are, we might have to cancel Quirk Song. I don't think we'll have a long enough set list for that.
So, I mean, what are we going to do? Are we just, I mean, I guess we could just like go play our song at the event and like play it well and look better than them.
Maybe we could. Maybe they'd be nice enough that we could compare set lists, and maybe they that kind of thing.
Compare-
Okay.
Or not. Give you another thing that isn't what I said.
We should obviously just stay in our corners, play our music. The better band will win out, and let's just keep our head on things. Which, out of character, let's not do that.
Alternatively, we could go wreak some havoc, if you will, like the good old days.
Not that Vivian just kind of like, oh god, what am I going to
Okay. I mean, I'm listening to Havoc ideas. Do you have something in mind, Quirk?
Let's go say hi to our old friends. See why they're here.
Okay. Sure. Yeah, they're just down around the front there. Let's go. I'll carefully put my guitar away in the case and head for the door. Are y'all all coming?
Yeah. Hold on, just let me turn all these off. It's just gonna take me a second. Got shut down on this laptop here. Hang on. Okay.
Yeah.
Hang
How
on.
many different keyboards do you have?
Oh, like 5, 6.
Okay. It's a classic 80s setup.
Oh yeah.
There's like behind this giant bank of them.
Oh yeah. Multi-level. You know.
Hmm.
Yeah, and I'll get them all shut down. Probably the heat level in the room will drop by at least 5-10 degrees once they're all turned off.
Yeah. We can hear the air conditioner like kicking off as you do that.
Okay.
I was like, oh, I thought that was part of the drums in Quirk's song. It's just the air conditioner trying to keep up with Simon's keyboards.
Sorry.
All right. Yeah, let's go say hi. So I think Barnabas probably kind of wheels into the lead unless somebody else is going to try to get ahead of me in talking to our rivals here.
I am most definitely trying to put myself at the back of the line.
Yeah. Okay. So, and I think what I want to do is that I like the idea of at least getting their set list. Finding out what they plan to play. So I am gonna wheel right up to Danny and say hi and try to make some chit chat about their songs and get him to drop what they plan to play. And so I think that brings us to the first move of the game, which is I'm going to try to exploit my celebrity because I'm going to use my shameless sense of entitlement to get special treatment from someone not in our band, someone in their band. So what I want from them is for him to tell me what song they're going to play. And has someone been stroking my ego lately? Not really, I don't think. So I'm going to start at piano on this. So I'm going to be rolling 3 dice and keeping the lowest 2. And I forgot to get us a dice rolling room here. So let me drop that in the chat. All right, so I see in the chat, Quark will stand menacingly behind me. Are you using your harmony? You're revealing what you really think of me to change what I'm rolling, or are you just in the fiction supporting me?
I think I'm just in the fiction supporting you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So I will roll 3d6. Keep the lowest 2. So that gets me a 5 there. So that is not so good. So you can get it, but it will cost you choose one. They're going to get back at you later for this indignity. You revealed something you didn't mean to, or behavior is extra cringy, and it'll turn down our audience. So we don't really have, nobody else is really seeing this. So that last one wouldn't really make sense. So I think I'm going to reveal something to them that I didn't mean to. So yeah, so I'm trying to kind of schmooze with Danny, get him to tell us what songs they're planning to do, and I think he names one of their songs that I'm going to say that it. He says that they're playing a new song that, and he like hums a little segment of it. And I think we all recognize that it's a song that is sampling Cheer for Anarchy. And we recognize the kind of hook there. So I think that what I reveal by accident so Joel, you can tell me if this sounds like a good, like this is kind of building backstory for your song, so you can reject this idea if you want. But maybe Cheer for Anarchy is a song that that, let's say, Simon's dad, who used to be in the band, played on the original recording of, and we haven't been able to replicate that part with our new lineup. So it's a little, it kind of cuts to the core that they're sampling that particular song for their new song. It kind of puts us on the spot.
Yeah, I like
and
that.
we maybe we had actually maybe, and again, you both veto this idea, but maybe on our album version of it, we actually got Simon's dad to come back and replay his part for the album. But he's not playing with us live, so we can't do that song live unless we can get that part down, and they're just going to go out there and sample it.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, so I think I accidentally, I get caught up in trying to make conversation with Danny and trying to keep a nice smiley face and trying to say things to be relatable to what he's telling me about their new song. And I realize, like I say, and I realize, oh shit, oops, and kind of glance over at Simon, because I realize it's just kind of like potentially embarrassed in front of our.
Shut up.
Yeah. But so it's good to see you guys. We probably should get back to practice again. And then head back down, and I'm like, sorry, Simon, sorry.
We'll get it right this time. Let's do it, and we'll get it. We'll hit it this time.
All right. Yeah, you're gonna find the muse this time, right? It's gonna speak through you and your keyboard.
I'm going to find the muse. Thank you for saying that again. That was reassuring.
Cool. So I know I kind of jumped in there and did some stuff. Who technically has the mic still? Laura. Yeah, you technically have the mic, so you can either do something or pass it to somebody, because we're figuring out where our story's going next.
Yeah. I think I might pass it off to Simon.
Okay, I like the idea that we would go back and we have to get everything set back up in the practice room, and that as we're kind of getting everything set, that one of the studio people comes and knocks, and comes in. It's like, hey, how's everybody doing? Is everybody good? You're all good. So we got a little situation, and then we had an additional act that we weren't entirely certain we were going to get. We're very pleased to. So we're going to have to cut your set down by about half. Hope you don't mind, but everybody's professional here. Everybody's professional. All right then.
Yeah, that'd be no problem.
Good, no problems. Excellent. Then I'll go make sure everybody up in the control room set for that. Then.
Thanks. Oh, jeez. All right. So,
what are we cutting?
Yeah, what are we? We were originally our original set list. I don't know, Quirk. We might have to cut. I mean, your song there is 17 minutes. If we play that, we don't get to play anything else.
Yeah, I think a Quirk maybe looks a little crestfallen, but is like, yeah, no, I get it, guys. Next time, right? And she kind of like twirls the drumsticks in her hands.
Next time, we'll lead with it next time.
Well, maybe not lead with it, but we'll play it.
Yeah. No, you're right. Definitely shouldn't lead with that, but we'll play it.
What's wrong with leading with it?
There's nothing wrong. No, what I meant was, because we want to get him primed before we get to flockification.
Yeah. We got to get them fired up so that we can do the thing where we point the mic at the crowd and have the crowd try to pronounce it, right? But they got to be into it. They got to be fired up before they'll do that, right?
Mm-hmm. I think Quirk's like, yeah, you're right, guys.
Okay. I think that. That we get the word that we're like going on like in the middle, like Ramshackle's going first. They get the first bite at the apple, no pun intended, and then we go, and then another band. But I think we very much get the sense that we are the filler in this station's plan here.
Okay.
When we go, there's like overlap with refreshments.
Yeah. So, they're putting us in the middle. So we gotta really rock it hard, make an impression. So we don't want people tuning out while we're up there.
Oh, and Ramshackle Orchard's going first, so They have all of our sampled songs, including Cheer for Anarchy. So they're just going to think we're a bunch of copies. We need to do something different.
Like?
I don't know. I mean, do we swap up who has what part? Like, should we have Barnabas play your keyboard music part and you take his guitar section?
That's up to Barnabas.
No, I don't think we can do that. I mean, that part, it requires you're playing on 3 keyboards at once to make that work. All right, that's you got. I've owned the guitar is just one, so I don't think I could make it happen on my keyboard. So we need a different plan. I can't take that over. We need a different plan.
We could try and write something. We've got some bits. We could try and do something new.
Yeah, we could write something brand new. They've never heard. They can't have sampled.
We've got lots of pieces.
Yeah, we've been working on stuff. I mean, we have some. We could take a couple minutes from and like mix that with something else. They won't know this.
Okay. Yeah. So everybody, why don't everybody pick your favorite little lick that we haven't worked into a song yet, and let's see if we can put them together and come up with something here.
Like it's a medley.
Oh, I like it. And so this sounds like we're using the Catch Fire band move. If we are all coming together to create this new song in our little practice studio here, so it'd be a good time to bust out the dice to see how well this song comes together. And we're real early in the game. We haven't turned up our audience at all yet. So our audience starts at piano. So that's roll 3, keep the lowest 2. So who would like to do the honors and roll for this band move and see how well our new song comes together?
I can do that. So
sure.
Roll 3.
Yep.
Oh God.
Oh.
That's a 3.
Doesn't really matter which ones we get to keep here.
No.
Okay. So on a 6 or less, you can't carry a tune in a bucket. Decide what golden opportunity you just blew. Okay. So, oops. All right. So this clearly doesn't go well. Doesn't come together. Who has a good idea of how exactly we fail and how this becomes a larger problem for us?
I like the idea that maybe like it is a medley, but like nothing goes, like there's no bridge between the parts, and it kind of sounds like somebody junked a bunch of They Might Be Giants, like the fingertips thing where it kind of goes the piece, and at the end I think we're like, okay, well that's a song.
Have to acknowledge Joel's cat there.
Yes.
Being adorable on the stream.
Sweetie.
Yeah. Actually, I think, in fact, kind of jumping off of that, I think that studio manager, comes back to let us know about something else and hears this and is like, nodding, kind of condescending is not the word, but like patronizingly. That's where I'm like nods patronizingly at this and actually says, "Oh, you're doing like a They Might Be Giants cover. Like what's it called? Like Fingernails or what's the name of that one?" It's cool. They'll love it. They'll love it.
Good ear. Okay, good ear. So I'll pass the mic back to you, Stentor.
Okay.
Since I kind of set that scene up.
Yeah.
And
All
it
right.
went terribly.
Yep. Okay. So I think, we've had our practice, and we're now out. We've gone out for dinner. So I think this is the day before we have dinner, and it'll be tomorrow in kind of like the afternoon is when the show will actually happen. So we've gone out to dinner, and we've just gone to kind of the nearest place to the recording studio, because this is a charity gig. We're not getting paid for it, and so we're a little low on cash. The record label hasn't given us a big stipend or anything, so we've just gone to the nearest place, which is just like a average kind of Chinese restaurant, where we can get something fairly cheap. Oh, and we've got another cat in the scene there. I think I offended mine by tossing him out of the way while we were doing our setups, but maybe he'll come back. And Lowell, do you have any cats?
We have an upstairs cat who is probably with Sherry, and then the kittens don't come upstairs. They have the basement and the half of the first floor.
Okay, cool.
There's a definite territorial line demarked in our house.
All right, good. That's an important thing when playing on video chat, is to assess what cats you might get to see.
Exactly.
Okay, yeah. But so we've gone to this just standard Chinese restaurant. Maybe it's like one of the buffet places, where you've got all the different dishes out in the heated trays.
An old Pizza Hut, like it's been Pizza Hut that's been remodeled.
I like that. Yeah. And they've got all the Chinese things, and then they've also got like the one row that's got like pizza and soggy French fries, and like the kind of kids meal stuff. And so we're I think having our manager is there with us to discuss what's gonna happen. So we need a name for our band manager. Anyone have a good name that pops to mind? Do you have oh. All right, I'll take that suggestion from the chat. Our manager's name is Dewey.
Like a Dewey C, but we don't actually know what his last name is.
Yeah, so I'm imagining it's like the actual last name is like some long, difficult to pronounce thing, and so we always go with the Dewey Cheatham joke. And I think so Dewey's there with us, and I think that Dewey has actually gotten things strictly from that kids menu row. Dewey is not an adventurous eater. Even Chinese food is too far out there for him. So he's got like the soggy French fries and the bad pizza, and a big bowl of they've got the like banana pudding with Nilla wafers there as well. He's got a big bowl of that. I'm making Lowell sick with that description.
Under the heat lamps. That's how I'm imagining it. So
yeah. Is Simon also having that reaction?
Yeah, a little bit. I think Simon has just has a plate of the appetizers. Like it's all egg rolls and shrimp toast and the barbecue spare ribs, and that's all he's eating is appetizers. That's adventurous for him. So Dewey, we've got a new song.
A new song. When did this come up? And I think Dewey's got like his tablet there that he's like scrolling through files and stuff, and he's got information on like every different song that we've recorded that's like officially in the system and copyrighted by the record label and stuff. And a new song. Wait, when did this happen? And this after, oh gee, okay. I guess I gotta put, what's it called? I'll put it in the thing here.
TBD.
And he starts typing, and he he types it and then stops and like realizes that what you're saying, like TBD, like you don't even have a name for it yet. And then Barnabas kind of pats him on the arm. It's a cool man. It's cool.
Looking around desperately
we'll get it figured
for
out.
Someone to help back me up on this.
I think like Vivian's just kind of disinterestedly scrolling through her like Instagram feed or something, and is like, "It was a spontaneous thing. Don't worry about it. It'll be fine."
My job is to worry about it. That's what they pay me for. I'm not in it for the banana pudding. Although this is pretty good banana pudding.
I think that Quark kind of like turns to Dewey like a mouthful of like noodles, and it kind of says with their mouthful, "You get paid?"
and Dewey says, "Well, I get paid when you play well." Geez. Okay, you're not planning to. Please tell me you're not planning to play this song at the benefit tomorrow. Like, please tell me this is for your next album.
See, the problem is that we were there, and then the Orchards came in, and they doing like a song that's a riff on Cheer for Anarchy, and they're going before us, and then they cut our sets down by half, and so. We don't have as much time, and so we didn't want them to play their song, and then we would play our song, and then it would sound like, oh, we doing the same song as they did. Did I hit all the high notes there? Barnabas, maybe you want to say something?
Yeah, no, that's basically what it is. You know, we gotta get some fresh material so we don't look like we're just, copying off of what we've already done, or we're just playing the same things that they did. I'm gonna pass the mic to Viv.
Yeah, and I think like as we're having this conversation and trying to calm Dewey down, like I'm assuming pretty ineffectively, and he's just freaking out and like looking into how quickly he can copyright a song that doesn't have a title. At least half of the Ramshackle Orchard band come in, and they're like humming the part of Cheer for Anarchy that they sampled, and like humming the rest of it, and it just sounds so good.
Okay. Yeah.
And it looks like they're here for the buffet too.
I think that Quark is going to stand up and kind of like crack her neck or walk over and say, "You need to leave."
Okay. It sounds like you're I think this probably falls under settle a beef if you're telling them they need to get lost here.
Mm-hmm.
So name your grievance.
Does it have to be against me personally, or can it just be
It can be
like the
against-
general?
Yeah, it can be against you personally, against the band, against the world. You know,
Okay.
whatever it is that makes you feel like you need to get even with them.
Yeah, I think that Quirk is going to look specifically Dax up and down, and they just kind of turn to the rest of them and say, "You posers. I had to cut my song because of you. I can't bear to look at you all. Get out."
Okay. So have they wronged you in a public or embarrassing fashion?
Define public. Embarrassed?
Yeah, I mean, I think we could call this embarrassing at least. It hasn't, even if it's not public.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so you'll roll 3 and keep the highest 2.
All right. And so, okay.
Okay.
All right, so that looks like
Sure.
a 10.
Yep, that's a 10. All right, so on a 10 or more, you didn't realize your own strength. Choose one. Either you do unintended damage to someone or something you care about, or you get into honest-to-goodness trouble for it. So tell us what happens as you're telling them off here in the middle of the Chinese buffet place.
Yeah, so I think I think that I maybe try to I take a swing at them, and then I think I take a swing at Dax, and I end up doing some damage, but then I end up hitting something, and it ends up like just splaying all over our table, and maybe like some food hits you guys in the face.
Okay, so this turns into a food fight.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Imagining like, you know, the whole like steam tray of green beans like falls out into somebody's lap. Or if I wonder if they maybe have one of those little like Mongolian grill type stations where you put together your things and they grill it for you, and there's like now like raw meat on the floor or something. And the owner of the place, you know, hears all this commotion and comes out and has got like tongs and is yelling to everybody, "Get out! You're banned from the Chinese buffet." Just like indiscriminately, everybody out of here, out of here. And even the innocent customers who were just trying to eat their, you know, beef and broccoli, you know, are getting chased out so that they can clean up. I imagine Dewey's not happy.
Pudding everywhere, I imagine, at this point.
Yep. I think Dewey really quickly tries to settle up the bill for all of us, and is like gives like a 30% tip, you know, to make up for the problems that we caused.
I think that that Simon will kind of go wander through as we're all cleaning off. I'll wander over to Diana, the one, and I will say, "How are you? How are you doing, sis? It's good to see you. How are you?"
And anyone else can jump in to play Diana.
I like the awkward silence, though. That
yeah.
I think that's appropriate too.
Yeah. So
I can play.
So new song then you got, huh?
Sorry, repeat that. My cats were. Sorry.
Oh, new song. You got a new song then. That's what Rico Suave said. Sorry, Danny.
Oh yeah. Just something we're trying out. Did you get to hear any of it?
If it's the one that Danny and everybody was humming, yeah, we kind of heard it. It sounds. I don't know. There's a little deja vu, maybe a little familiar.
I mean, I personally think it I think it sounds pretty unique. Maybe you're just confusing it with something else. Our songs have that effect on people.
Confusing them.
She looks kind of like, no, we remind them of better times.
If you say so. A little hoist in there on your sleeve. I better go. So I'll see you at Christmas.
So I don't know if you were angling for a particular move there, but I could see that as a going solo.
Sure, I like that.
You're the acting against the wishes of the rest of the band by being nice to a member of our rivals.
I am not smarter, however, than the rest of the band.
Okay. So you'll roll 3 and keep the lower 2.
Roll these yellows. Roll for your party is a fickle thing. Look, each time we roll, the total is going to become less and less. So that would be a 3.
Okay. So embarrass the whole band. So we're going to turn down our audience. So our audience is now pianissimo. So it's gonna hurt our band moves next time we make them. But so something about this embarrasses the whole band and drives a few of our fans away. What is it?
I don't know about the fan part, but I certainly think when I turn around after having talked to my sister that everyone is like staring angrily.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay, then it's good talk. Okay. And I think we can probably hear the laughter of Ramshackle Orchard as they're going down the hallway, because sound carries in these halls.
Mm-hmm.
So that could have gone better.
Yeah, it could have. They're stealing our songs, right?
I thought maybe she'd admit it.
Why would she admit that to you?
I just, sorry.
All right. Well, we got some dinner, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, and I tucked a few egg rolls in my pocket, so I'm set.
Okay. I mean, at least we don't have to sit next to Dewey eating that pudding, right?
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to get the smell of it out of my clothing, but...
I think I actually put some of it in my clothing. Should we head our separate ways and get cleaned up, or did we want to try and practice a bit more before the show, see if we can fine-tune and maybe even put a name to our new song?
We might need to get this new song nailed down. We need something to really make it pop. It's the big premiere of the song. I gotta hit it hard, right?
Mm-hmm. And we definitely gotta impress the athletes.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think I have some moist towelettes in my glove compartment. We'll just do a quick scrub down, and should we meet back up at the studio?
Sure. Sounds good.
And then Vivian will pass out moist towelettes and extra McDonald's napkins to people, and I'll pass the. That is very fitting.
Got one right there.
I'll pass the mic to Lowell for this one.
Okay.
Oh.
I like the idea that
my cat.
we go back to the motel as we're doing that to kind of get things, and we see that pink murder van out there, and I think we pause, and I don't think we see any of the members of the band, and I say, that's their van, right?
Yeah.
It's hard to miss.
Now, I'm just saying, this is just a thing I'm saying. It's not a thing that has to be done, or even a thought. It could be just a thing that might be just, let's...
Just say it. Say it, Simon.
What if a really big magnet were to be put under their van where they've got the laptops and the keyboards stored?
That's devious.
Well, they stole from us, right? Right?
True.
Now I'm looking at Quirk, right? So we got to do something?
I like the way you think, Simon.
Ooh.
At that point, Vivian just face palms and is like, oh my god, where are we even going to get a magnet that big?
So.
Oh no.
It's a TV studio. And I happen to know that they have bulk erasers in there. They used to clear old carts and some of the backup stuff to clear stuff down to reuse. We could go get one of those bulk erasers and put it on the underside of their van.
I'm in.
Simple, classy, creative. I love it. Let's do it.
Okay, so we have a band move for a situation like this, which is get the goods when you seek out a useful item or opportunity. So our audience is currently at pianissimo, so we're going to roll 4 dice, keep the lowest 2, and see if we can get high enough to make this happen. So who would like to do the honors and roll those dice?
Well, I just rolled a terrible roll, so I think someone else should roll. I'm just going to say, I'm going to disclaim responsibility on this next roll.
All right. Why don't I go ahead and do it?
Okay.
So we've got 4 dice. It's a 4. That didn't go well. So on a 6 or less, choose one. You broke it beyond repair. Someone took it away because you can't be trusted, or your rivals have it. So what do we want to collectively choose there? How does this fail?
Wow, the first and the third ones are good options for this.
Yeah.
I think we've dug enough of our grave, though. I would very much like to just say that we go and we pretend like we're because we're just going to practice again, and then we sneak down, and I have this whole hot idea that we're going to get this bulk eraser, but when I go to get it, it's a little more like less portable than I thought it would be, and I end up like tearing it out of a section, and the wire's exposed, and by the time I get it back to where we're at, I'm like, so we may have to change the plan a little. This doesn't quite work like I remembered it, and it may not work at all now. It might be.
So a thought on this: what if it's in fact broken, but we don't realize that yet, and we try to use it anyway?
I'm good with that.
Okay, yeah. So I think Barnabas, looks at it and kind of, pokes at it and is like, I bet it's fine, right? You can, plug it in and there's like some light on it that lights up. So I bet it works. I bet we don't have time to waste trying to like fix it. Let's just use it and hope it works.
Then I think we have to go back, and one of us has to crawl under the van and not get caught doing it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I think that's going to be a role to keep it cool for whoever's going to execute this plan that we already know can't possibly work. So who is our sneakiest? Simon stole the thing, so I think it's onto one of the rest of us to.
I can try to do it.
Okay.
If anything, maybe someone else is about to, and she kind of like stops them and says like, "No, you're just gonna leave a mess, and then everyone will know we did it." I've learned my lesson from last time, and she pulls out like plastic gloves.
Okay.
It's like, okay, give me the damn cables.
Okay. So when you deal with the situation smoothly, ask, do I look like I belong here?
Probably not. She's like crawling under a van in the middle of a parking lot.
Okay.
And so
all right.
We roll based off what our audience is.
No, so that's an individual move. So you're rolling based off of that question. So that question took you down to piano. So that's roll 3. Keep the lowest 2. And unfortunately, I don't think revealing what I really think of you would really help you in this situation. So I can't bump your roll up that way.
I got a 5.
5, okay. Man, we're getting a lot of low rolls in this session.
Let's see, on a 6
but luckily, this is a 4-session game, so even if we have some bad luck in our first game, we can, get it all back in a later session here. But okay, so on a 6 or less, you crack when it's too late to back out. Pick one. You run into the worst possible person, or you embarrass the band. And that would turn down our audience if our audience could go any lower.
I think, if anything, we'll say like, as she is like under the van crawling around, she is just kind of looking around and looks over at where our van is and sees someone from the rival band also on their back crawling under our van.
I love it. I love it.
Of us both pointing at each other like, what the hell are you doing there? And of course, like, they managed to sabotage our stuff in some way, like much better than we could sabotage things, because So yeah, it's probably my counterpart, Lucas Chill, is doing it.
Okay. Yeah. So do you point this out to the rest of us while you're doing it, or do you wait till the deed is done?
I think there's definitely like you hear a bang under there and like some cursing because she like lifts her head up really quickly, and then like flicks off Lucas, and Lucas flicks her off, and then she like does what she thinks needs to be done with the magnet, gets out from underneath, and then like whispers to everyone to try and not draw attention. It's like they're freaking doing something to our van too.
How can they do that? That's totally unacceptable. Tampering with our stuff? I mean, really?
So underhanded. This is completely different.
Jeez.
We're
How low can you get?
Oh, we need to do an assessment here. See what they damaged. And I think that I'll just say that one of the things that was in the van was like my good keytar.
Cool.
So I have like my kind of banged up practice one, and I have like the good one that's got like rhinestones on it and stuff for the stage. And I had like all kinds of things programmed into it, and so I like turn it on, and it's has the little message like "Welcome to your new keytar." It got like totally factory reset. Like no, it's gonna take me all night to reprogram this.
We should probably go and practice or program or something and get ready for tomorrow.
Yeah. I let's get some coffee because this is gonna be a late night.
Everyone gets set up. There was a 24/7 gas station across the street. I'll go get coffee. And, like Vivian like heads over. Probably has like one of those cardboard coffee carriers because she's always the one like going out and getting coffee for people. So she has it like nicely folded up in the van. She takes it out, gives it a little like whip with her hand, and it pops up. I'll be right there.
Okay, so we gotta focus on the songs that we need to play tomorrow.
Okay. Do we just practice? Do we need to tune it up? What do we need to do?
Well, we got to get that new song down. Like that. It honestly, it didn't sound so good when we played it before. We gotta make that really sing. So we need to. What we need is some good lyrics. So I was just singing a lot of da 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 before, but we need to make it really like about something, right? We got to give it some real poetry. What's moving all of us right now? What's
rage?
Rage. Okay, good. Okay, so what rhymes with rage? Wage, age, cage,
sage.
Sage, good. Yeah. Okay.
Maybe like page, like we're a book of rage.
Oh, good. Book of Rage. That's our title. Book of Rage. Yeah. All right. So let's see. So when I read from the Book of Rage, it's good opening line. Okay. So I think Barnabas is going to start. Is going to get out the laptop and start typing up some good lyrics.
Lyrics. Not necessarily good lyrics, but lyrics.
Lyrics, yes. I mean, it's the middle of the night, and I've had like half a meal of Chinese food and way too much coffee. I think they're good lyrics.
So I guess at this point, would it be like a band move to make the song, like making a plan? Or
Sorry, you froze there for a second. I didn't hear what you said.
at this point, as we're trying to like come up with a song for tomorrow, would it be a band move, like make a plan? Or...
Also, I don't think we necessarily have to roll for it right now.
Okay.
We could decide we're gonna roll to see how it goes over when we actually play it on stage. So we already tried rolling once for it, and the initial version did not impress. And I don't think this is a complex enough scheme that we need to roll to make a plan. So I think we can just I don't think we necessarily need to actually roll a move for this. We can just say we spent all night working on this song, unless somebody has something very specific that they want to do while we're working on this.
I mean, I think just in general, when Quirk gets wired on coffee, I think that they tend to just bang their sticks on anything that moves. So you guys are getting drummed on all throughout the night, and so that'll be good for your head in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think Vivian knows the coffee drinks everyone likes, and she's drinking her, and she's like, "This doesn't taste right. Damn it, this is decaf." And then she looks up at Quirk. Quirk has a double. So she's like, "Oh, no."
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So if folks want, we can fast forward to the next day.
Let's face the music.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because we are getting close to the end of our time slot here, so we should get to our first show of our series here. Do we want to just cut straight to the actual broadcast?
I think we have buried ourselves so deeply we have to.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is good, like I said, good setup for our next 3 games where we can dig ourselves out of this hole. So yeah. So the what were their names? Why did I just try and blank on our rivals' names? Ramshackle Orchestra or Orchard. Yeah. So I think they take the stage, they play their set, they play the song that very much rips off of Cheer for Anarchy. And I think it's a subtle ripoff. It's the kind of thing that our serious fans will notice, but maybe some of the casual viewers won't. Some of the the math kids that they're appealing to aren't old enough to remember that song. And yeah, so we take the stage, and are we leading with our new song, or are we going to make that the finale?
I think the finale. I think that we're all kind of nervous about it, and so we're last possible minute to just slide it in there.
Okay. Yeah. So why don't we just roll for that then? See, we'll roll one catch fire to cover our set climaxing with the Book of Rage. Who wants to do the honors here?
Well, I pulled out 3 dice. Of course, they actually succeeded on that one. So when I re-roll these, they are not going to succeed. So
Okay.
So 2 lowest, you said?
Yep.
Well, that's a 3.
That's a 3. Okay. What golden opportunity we just blew.
I think there are definitely bookers that are watching the show. What do you think?
Yeah, there have to be. There have to be. I think there's a big announcement right after this that Ramshackle Orchard has been picked to headline at a major music festival coming up. And we are not on the docket for that festival at all.
Not even the sad light shows that are out
yeah.
at the fringes.
Yep, we're not on there at all. Which sets up our next session pretty well, because I think we're going to have to crash that festival. So, all right. So maybe we should go around and get our last reactions to this from all of our characters, and then move into Stars and Wishes. Yeah. So I think that Barnabas feels that those lyrics were just not properly appreciated because there was a lot of poetry to it that these like math kids just don't get. They're just, if we were playing at a benefit for like encouraging people to study English literature, would have gone over great. It's the problem is that this was this like science and math event. So it's really not our fault. It's the audience's fault when you really think about it.
I think for like Vivian, like if this was a show, you would see the camera facing out in the audience and it's teachers trying to like wrangle up students, and it's like, hey, let's get to class, come on. And then it goes to the stage and it's Vivian trying to wrangle the band and like, remember your drumsticks, like wrap your chords, don't get it tangled. And then they announce who the winners are, and she has like a can of pop or something, and like she doesn't let it show because she's like serious, but she's kind of like grips the can tight and it crinkles. She's like,
yeah, I think that so Quirk was like convinced that we did amazing. Like we just lit that stage on fire. We were fantastic. And so they are very upset. Like, I think that there is yelling. I think that there is crude gesticulating in front of the kids, of course, and then just kind of shaking their head and kind of storming off stage and glaring at my counterpart in the other band.
And I think Simon is blaming himself because he's the one who suggested we do a new song. And this is all, if we had just stuck with it, or if we'd gone with Floxamana Syndication, maybe if we just done that song, it would have been better. And maybe I was thinking that the song wasn't great, but I didn't say anything, and so it's all my fault. It's all my fault.
Okay. An excellent end to our session there. So I'm going to go ahead and end our recording.